Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sport here on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Many thanks for joining on today's edition of the program as we look to discuss a whole lot going on in the world of sports. We'll be talking cricket as the Triple C League hot up after festive break. Yes, it came back up to the sport after the festivities, and there's a lot of drama going on in the AFCON. Mali have arrested the native healer who promised Mali the African Cup of All Nations trophy. I don't know how that happened, that they are going to win the African Cup of All Nations trophy, and now Mali lost out, and now he has been arrested for fraud. Also, we saw that CAF has begun investigation into the Algeria-Nigerian game after the officiating of referee Issa will be having that conversation as well. And also in the EPL, we'll see Manchester City and Arsenal have gone back ahead of the EPL that will be happening this weekend. So there's so much more to discuss. Even in Europe, Nigerian Tim Murphy has asked for a contract termination with Nice based on the fact that him and his teammates got attacked by the fans of Nice. And then big one coming still, Paris Saint-Germain lost yesterday 1-0 in a league in their league fashion. And also Al Nassr had some issues. They played the game yesterday and they couldn't, find a way to win a trophy. We are going to be having that conversation and more. We'll be talking NBA, we'll be talking basketball, we'll be talking grassroots sports development. All of that will be happening on today's edition of Talk Sports. My name again is Samuel Odi, but we'll get right into the conversation immediately after this break. You sit right back and we'll be back with you shortly. Many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining, this is Talk Sport here on Global Television. Now, let's move on. Cricket, quickly. Triple C League hots up after festive break. Yes, the Club Cricket Committee, Lagos League, is hitting new gear in the new year as 2025-2026 season hots up in the Premier and First Division of the excitement of the organizations and their headlining sponsors. Actions entered week 6 during the weekend, with Premier League leaders Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club maintaining their strong start to the new year with a 3-wicket win over Rock of Abeokuta. Government College Ibadan also grabbed a 78-run win over MRI Warriors, while reigning champions Rising Star Cricket Club beat Federal Government College Warri by 8 wickets. The race for individual honours has also intensified, with Rising Stars Vajel Shaman leading with the bat on 185 runs, while Dada Toluwasin is topping the First Division with 161 runs. On the bowling front, Chimeze Uwazuwike of Rising Star is currently the league's most prolific bowler, claiming 11 wickets in Division 1. Masha Shaban of Lagos Asians also topped the chart with 11 wickets as well. Before the start of the 2025-2026 season, the league organizers entered into a partnership and also to help elevate the standards of players' performance, established a high-performance platform for elite cricketers, and strengthened the sport's commercial appeal. So looking at this now, this league is back up, and then we are seeing beautiful matches and then beautiful, plays happening already, and then intensifying the angle of who is going to emerge as MVP and the leading and the best player of the league for the 2025-2026 season. Rising Stars are maintaining momentum as they did before the break, and then they are looking to go all the way to advance and also win. So moving on now, let's talk AFCON. A whole lot of dramas is going on in AFCON now as is ongoing. You know, aside from the drama on the pitch, beautiful football being played by host nations and also nations that qualified for the league. Now we're having another set of drama off the football pitch. Native healer who promised Mali AFCON win arrested for 33,500 euros fraud as a self-proclaimed marabout or traditional folk healer who collected 33,500 euros by promising victory for Mali in the African Cup of All Nations was arrested for fraud after the team lost. Mali's national team was eliminated on a Friday in the quarterfinal by Senegal, 1-0. The man, identified only as Mr. Sinayo, collected more than 22 million Nigerian naira, 22 million CAF francs in donation, according to associates. Following Mali's defeat, an angry mob showed up at his home before police intervened and removed him. Sonoyago was arrested in Malian capital Bamako on Saturday for fraud and was being held at the cybercrime division, according to report reaching us, and those also who went to visit him at the police station. I don't even understand who would be able to fall for a tantrum like this to start with. Football is a 90-minute game, and then the better team always finds a way to win. And then if the two teams are very, very good, then it's going to be a draw. But at the quarterfinal stage, one team was surely going to go home, and then there is no power that can, stop or make a team qualify. If you play well and then you find the back of the net, yes, fine, you can win. But juju and voodoo powers does not help in sport at all. It does not help in sport. It does not, bridge any kind of gap. So this man or this native healer who has, who did what he did or said what he could say to make sure that he, collected some funds for these individuals, will face the brunt of the whole matter, and then hopefully he finds his way out of it in a good pace. And if he's going to do time, he does the time or return the money to those who gave him. But there is no how, why individuals will be falling for tantrums like that and then having a native healer telling them that it doesn't work that way. But it was a beautiful match between Senegal and Mali in the long run, and that had totally nothing to do with voodoo powers. So moving on, 2027 AFCON qualifiers draw will be holding later today. The Confederation of African Football will conduct a draw for the preliminary round of the 2027 African Cup of All Nations qualifiers. That will be happening today, officially beginning the road to the tournament. CAF last night released the official post for the teams involved in the preliminary stage, citing the framework from the opening feature of the qualification campaign. Pot 1 include Lesotho, Burundi, Ethiopia, Eswatini, South Sudan, and Mauritius, while Pot 2 comprises Chad, Saint Tome and Principe, Somalia, Seychelles, and Eritrea. According to CAF, each team in Pot 1 will be paired against a team in Pot 2, with the first leg to be hosted by the lower-ranked nation. The ties will be decided over 2 legs, with 6 winners from the preliminary round advancing to the group stage draw of the AFCON 2027 qualifiers. The victorious team will join Africa's top 42 ranked nations in the race for a place at the Continental Premier Football Tournament. The 2027 African Cup of All Nations will be the 35th edition of the competition, with the host nation yet to be confirmed by CAF. So looking at this now, I think it might go to Egypt, Morocco, or even Ivory Coast. Or it might even go to Kigali, maybe Kenya, It might, because Kenya has been improving so much in sport infrastructure. Yes, I didn't mention Nigeria. We know we have so much more, so much work we need to do here in Nigeria in terms of infrastructural development for sporting activities. So don't blame me that I didn't mention Nigeria, because we have so much more that can be done. Do we have stadiums? Yes, we do have, but are they up to that standard? Yes, before 2027, maybe something can happen and then it's going to get to the world-based standard. But with what we have on ground now, it might be at Morocco, Egypt, maybe Kenya, or even Ivory Coast, or even Cameroon even. Yes, it might go to one of these 5 nations that I mentioned. So let's just see what will happen. But if Nigeria could be, and also, prepare properly and have infrastructural developments like within the short period of time, then it's going to be possible. But now we only have around 11 months to have all of this, less than 11 months to have all of these things set up. So it's just going to be like passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. So we'll see how all of this will pan out, and then I will also bring you the updates of this qualifiers round for the 2027 African Cup of All Nations. So moving on, CAF opens investigation after Algerian complaints. Yes, the Confederation of African Football has opened a misconduct investigation following violence seen at the end of the 2 African Cup of All Nations quarter-final matches, with Algeria also submitting a formal complaint over refereeing decision in their defeat by Nigeria. The Confederation confirmed on Monday that it was examining the incident that occurred after Morocco's win over Cameroon in Rabat, which happened last weekend. That was on Friday, and Nigeria's 2-0 victory over Algeria in Marrakesh on Saturday, with possible sanctions to follow. Footages circulating on social media showed Algerian players pursuing the referee Issa Shai of Senegal down the tunnel after the final whistle, while separate videos captured confrontation involving players, officials and journalists in the mixed zone. Algerian supporters were also seen clashing with security personnel following the loss. In an official statement, CAF says CAF has collected recent match reports and videos, evidence indicating potential unacceptable behavior from some players and officials, and has opened an investigation. Algerian Football Federation later confirmed that it had formally filed a complaint with CAF over the officiating of Issa, questioning several decisions made during the quarterfinal games on Saturday against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So, the only thing I saw that Issa did wrong in that matchup was when he blew the final whistle. One Algerian player, I can't actually pinpoint his name right now, went to shake his hand, and then I think some words were said, and then he tried shaking his hand, and then Issa ignored and then didn't, want to shake his hand. And then that was the only thing I saw. And then the trajectory continued like that. And then people, lots of individuals, Algerians, stepped onto the pitch. Though before then, Bruno and one Algerian player also had a bit of a clash, which was settled immediately, but we saw lots of players and officials trooping in, and then backstage, behind the scene, behind the pitch rather, we saw a lot of individuals, Algerians also attacking, and journalists also having some rifts within themselves, and security officials as well being attacked. So I think CAF is definitely going to investigate all of this properly, and then we will see how all of these will pan out and what the results and the outcome of these things will be. Surely there will be sanctions, and then there will be penalties for those that will be found guilty and wanting in the long run. So let's pick up and move on fast. Super Eagles arrive Rabat ahead of AFCON semi-final clash. The Nigerian Super Eagles have arrived in Rabat ahead of their African Cup of All Nations semi-final clash scheduled for tomorrow. In a video shared via social media, Super Eagles were seen, arriving Rabat, and Super Eagles arrived Rabat by road from Fez ahead of their clash with Morocco. And then the footage showed that the team inside the AFCON bus as they made a way through the Moroccan city. Nigeria will face host nation Morocco in the semi-final of the 2025 AFCON, and then the nations will see how all of this will pan out. The match will be played at the Abdullaha Stadium in Rabat. Super Eagles are expected expected to begin preparation for a crucial encounter with the Moroccan team to secure a place in the final of the tournament. So, looking at it now, the Super Eagles are there and then they are ready. Now, facing the host in the semi-final is very, very important. Crucial. Please, all the Nigerians in Morocco, those in close-by countries to Morocco that have access and, visas to be able to enter Morocco, should all please go and support the Super Eagles, because the Moroccans will be at home, and I'm very certain that the fans will fill, Moroccans will fill the stadium, will pack the stadium, and they would want to, cheer their people. We saw what happened in Ivory Coast when we were playing the finals against Ivory Coast. Like, the stadium was dominated by Ivorians, and to the extent that even the supporters club of the Super Eagles have their chants weren't being heard by the players. So, though we know this team that we have is a very, very good team. They're very, very special, extraordinary set of guys that have showed us class. These are world best players. These are world-class players that have shown class. And Victor Osimhen, in his words, has said they are not intimidated by any team. They are never intimidated that they're in Morocco. They are not intimidated that they'll be facing Morocco. And they are looking to do their best and perform and compete properly, and then advance to the finals and find a place for the finals. So we just hope that we get a lot of support. Those in Morocco, that's Nigerians in Morocco, those living close by Morocco that can find their way there, go and support and cheer the Super Eagles, because the numbers will be very important. The numbers of fans and people that will be coming to watch and cheer the Super Eagles should be much, as well as those that will be coming to support the Moroccans. But I know there is no way you can be able to compare the both sides, because they will have their people there already. So now, still talking Super Eagles. Super Eagles are trained behind closed doors in Rabat. The Super Eagles trained behind closed doors in Rabat ahead of the preparation, as their preparation intensifies for African Cup of All Nations semi-finals against host Morocco. Nigerian squad and official arrived in Morocco capital from Fez on Monday afternoon and will be based at the Rahab Hotel, with the training section held at the Complex Mohammed IV Stadium. The team's media official promise says the decision to shut down the section to the public was taken to allow head coach Eric Chill to conduct detailed tactical walk away from outside scrutiny. The move to Rabat follows Nigeria's 2-0 victory during the quarterfinal victory over Algeria in Marrakesh, secured by goals from Victor Osimhen and Ako Adams, who were very spectacular for the night. After that match, the Super Eagles returned to their designated tournament base in Fez for recovery, in line with the new CAF policy assigning each team to a fixed camp for the duration of the competition. Nigerians' relocation now signals the final phase of preparation for the semi-final at the Prince Mouladi Stadium, where Morocco have played all their matches at the tournament. Now, this is another concern. I was waiting to get here patiently. The Moroccans have played one match, all of their match in one stadium. They are very, very aware and have acclimatized properly with the stadium, which is not so nice. We saw the same thing that happened when Argentina, when the World Cup trophy was handed to Lionel Messi, in Saudi Arabia, they all played all of their matches in the same pitch, and the Argentines got penalties in the whole tournament. In every match that they played, penalty was awarded, penalty was awarded, penalty was awarded, penalty was awarded. So we wouldn't want to see some level of concerns, and again, we wouldn't want to see, some things happening that is not supposed to happen. CAF, you need to pay details and pay detailed attention. We are seeing that Algerians are complaining about the officiating that happened between the Super Eagles and themselves. So we're just hoping that a very good unbiased referee will be there to officiate, and also, I think for me, I feel they would have played this match in a different stadium, because the hosts are being favored right now. Why would they be playing one match in one particular stadium since the opening day? There are other stadiums that are actually very good, but still, it's going to be in the city capital, and then they will be expecting a whole lot of fans. But the Super Eagles have nothing to worry about. They are good. They're all good, and then we're expecting to see beautiful matchups. And then, still talking Super Eagles, let's talk about one of the guys that just got called up, talking about Adams as his confidence ahead of Morocco clash. Super Eagles striker Ako Adams remains remains confident about the team's objective of winning the 2025 African Cup of All Nations title ahead of their semi-final meeting with host Morocco in Rabat. Looking at it, Nigeria set up the meeting against at last Lions following a dominant 2-0 win in Algeria in the quarterfinal. Morocco had also been unbeaten, 2 goals to nil in their last 8 matches, and then the Super Eagles have been dominant at AFCON, winning all their matches and scoring 14 goals in the process. Adams has been involved in 4 of those goals, scoring 2 and providing 2 assists. Since making his Super Eagles debut in October 2025 during the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, marking it with a goal in the 2-1 win over Lesotho, the striker has scored 4 goals and provided 2 assists in 9 matches, which is an excellent result. Obviously, he is a civilian player, and then he's very, very confident of the fact that the Super Eagles of Nigeria can scale through. But looking at our squad now, our midfield has been nothing but exceptional, but I have one challenge. Wilfred Ndidi is suspended because he, had a yellow card earlier in some, I think, was it the Tunisian game? I think it was the Tunisian game. He got a yellow card, and now he also got another yellow card in one of the matches, I think against Mozambique. I can't really remember right now, but still, that is going to damper our midfield. But Raphael Onyedika is also going to be in the midfield, who is someone I trust very well. He scored 2 goals for the Super Eagles against Mozambique. So him and Onyeka can cover up that DM position so that Alex Iwobi will continue with the beautiful thing he's doing of creating. We'll get into his creative zone to be able to give all those beautiful and killer passes that we have been seeing him give from the opening day of the Super Eagles match until Saturday. So I think he's going to be very good in that position. And then the defensive line now, I trust Kelvin Bassey. Kelvin Bassey is also someone that can hold it down in the defensive line. But the Moroccans are also playing this kind of game of tiki-taka. Super Eagles play almost the same kind of football. Tiki-taka, tap, move, I give you the ball, you get it back, and then the creative play. So it's going to be very important that these individuals not just go physically, that's talking about the Super Eagles, not just being physical, but they have to be very, very tactical. Just like what the report says, and Eric Chio having a training behind closed door is about to talk about the technicality of the game. There will be a whole lot of technicality and tactical plays that would transpire tomorrow. The game will actually be played by 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Nigerian time. So all of this is what the players have to look out for. And Stanley Nwabali, don't get too excited, don't get upset. Just stay focused and keep your clean sheet. Your beautiful haircut that you went to Morocco with is still there, and nothing has actually happened to your haircut because you've been on vacation, according to what he says. What Stanley Nwabali said, he has been on vacation at AFCON because the midfield is doing their job, the attackers are doing their job, and the defense also are doing their job properly. So the only time I would say he wasn't on vacation was when he conceded 2 goals against Tunisia, which was obviously very avoidable, but that did happen. So we will see how all of this will pan out, and all fingers are crossed. May the best team win, as they always say. So moving away from AFCON quickly, now there's a concern. Murphy, a Nigerian, wants to terminate his contract with his club side Nice, and then you might be wondering why he's coming out to do this. The Nigerian striker Temi Murphy and his Nice teammate Jeremy Boga have taken steps to terminate their contract with the club after they were attacked by fans last December. According to reports, both players were hit, kicking and spat on by ranging fans at the club training ground after a 3-1 defeat at the Loreset in November 2025. Murphy and Brugger were both targeted due to the recent incident. Murphy, a former Loreset player, was shown laughing with Loreset president Luca Ferry on League One Plus after the defeat. They are 6th in a row in all competition, while Brugger invited Olympians the Marseille fan to the Auxerre rivalry the weekend prior during their 5-1 loss to their local rivals. He has since then apologized, but Murphy and Brugger have not stepped on the pitch since the incident and have now decided to leave the club by officially insisting the process, according to the FIFA and the League One rules. So all of these things is not just so nice. Stop attacking players when they win or when they don't lose. Okay, were they expecting Murphy not to say hello to his former boss? That's not right. Yes, he was caught laughing with him. So what? Can't he just exchange pleasantries with someone who he knows? And then the club has not even stepped up to do anything to these fans. And then for Broga also, someone has been supporting him while he was in Marseille. Now he moved to Nice. The person still supports him, and then he invited him. There is nothing these individuals have done wrong. Yes, their performance has been very poor. But do you blame it on the players or you blame it on the coach? There must be something done wrong, because probably the coach's formation, his tactics is what is making the team lose. You can't be losing 6 games straight in a row and then expect people not to live their lives. You know, the fans, despite the fact that their team gets to lose, they still go back home and eat. Some still go back to spend time with their families. And most of these footballers don't even have enough time to spend with their families. They just try their best, train, and get back to the pitch to make the club and the fans happy. But getting backlashes like this is actually something unacceptable. And we're hoping to see that, you know, this can be settled amicably, and then the Broga and Murphy wouldn't just have the need to leave. Though the transfer window is open, there might be a way or some teams that are reaching out to them already for them to, sign up and then come play for them. But we'll definitely, this is a developing story. We'll get to the developing story as it keeps unfolding. So now let's talk FA Cup quickly. As we saw Liverpool yesterday being very victorious, we'll be playing you the highlights of the matchup yesterday where Liverpool won 4-0 and advanced further in the FA Cup. And we saw Paris Saint-Germain losing yesterday 1-0 in their league. And also we saw Al Nassr as well losing out yesterday in 3-1. Cristiano Ronaldo have not had the best of matches most recently, and then we will see how all of this will pan out moving forward. For now, let me bring you the highlights of Liverpool as they were victorious last night, scoring 4-1. That will then